Hi, Tom Bridger here. I'm going to talk to you today about the basic chip shot around the edge of the green. In my coaching, I see an awful lot of players when they get around this area, just around off the edge of the green, with no real obstacle to go over, they still go straight to their lob wedge. They've seen it on TV, you want to fly it in there, you want to zip it and get it to check up just in front of the flag, but it's just a really tough shot to play. If you're practicing 5, 6, 7 hours a day, fine, then absolutely go for it. But for those of us who play once a week or so, let's go for the easy option, for the safest way to play this shot. Now, two ways I'm going to show you today are with the 7-iron, you could go 8-iron or 6-iron, somewhere around about that, and also your hybrid club. Where there's no obstacle to go over, we want to get the ball on the floor as quickly as we possibly can. For those of you who play football, just think about when you pass the ball to a teammate, how much easier it is to just guide the ball along the floor, get it rolling, than it is to try and lift it up and get the distance and everything. It just becomes a lot harder. So let's play a shot that gets the ball on the ground very quickly, gets it running, and gives us a good chance of actually feeling of getting the correct distance. Okay. When we use a club with less loft on, like the 7-iron or the hybrid, compared to our lob wedges, it means we can make a much smaller swing. Therefore, our shot's going to be more controlled. If we are to thin the ball, it doesn't run on or shoot across the green. It only goes a little bit past the hole. And if we were to catch the ground a little bit heavy, because these are much flatter faces, it still hits the back of the ball a little bit more. So although it might not reach the flag or reach the hole, it will actually get the ball running up towards the hole. The miss will be much, much closer. We're going to play the shot very similar to a putt. So we're going to have the ball just forwards of centre. You can experiment with taking your putting grip or your normal grip. That's a personal preference. But the stroke itself is going to be very much from the shoulders, just like our putting strokes would be. And we're just going to use that little bit of loft on the club just to dink the ball over the slightly long grass, get it running up towards the hole. Now, to get a feel for how far we actually want to hit the ball, a good way of feeling this is actually just imagine that you are rolling the ball to the hole. Okay, the looking at the hole and the rolling action is very, very similar. The rolling action is very, very similar to our chipping motion. When we look at where we need to go and do the chipping motion and the rolling action, again, over time and through practice, we can actually tune into how far the distance is just by the tilt of our head. So a little bit of practice at this, having a look at where you want to go to feel the distance. And then when you're ready, step over and play the shot. Again, a little bit heavy there, but the ball's still running up towards the hole. Same thing with a hybrid. Again, we probably even have a little bit more margin of error with this because it's a flatter face. Some people don't like the added length. Again, experiment. Don't just stick to one shot all the time. Try different clubs out in practice. See if you can get something that's easier for you, something that works better for you. Okay, slightly better result there with the hybrid. We saw Justin Rose play that one last year at the US Open and coming down the 18th hole. Probably one of the most pressurised shots that he's ever going to play in his career, and he just went through his bank in his head of how's the easiest way that he's going to play this shot, and he decided to go with a little hybrid club, pop the ball down there, rolled it up to a couple of inches away, and had a nice easy tap in for the victory. Try different clubs, experiment with things. Don't stick to your same old ways. The more experimentation you try, the better it will be. Try all the clubs, have a feel for the distance, and once you've found one that works for you, bring it into your game and you'll find that you'll actually be able to chip the ball that much closer. Again, it's going to give you margin of error as well. If you miss-hit any chips, you're going to miss-hit those chips much closer to the hole to give yourself a better chance of sinking the putt. Hope you found that useful. If you need any more information or any more help, my phone number, email address, website and Twitter username will be coming up next.